Hello everyone, Bossman John here again. Time for another round of Donkey Kong. I upgraded my recording software. I got a better emulator here, so things should go a little better here this time. Let's see. I did play ahead a little bit, but we're gonna pick off right where we left off here. I actually forgot I was recording, so shh, don't tell anyone. So if I run through these a little bit faster than I would have, it's because I'm fresh off them. But in the last video, they showed us the switches here that you click back and forth, and it does things like, you know, extend bridges and ladders and things like that. But the main objective is the same, just gotta get that key back down to the bottom. If you notice, if you fall far enough that you do the somersault, or that, you drop the key. You know, you have some time to pick it back up, but it will reset, so you can't just leave it somewhere. That's also kind of a thing so you don't get stuck, because you could toss the key like onto spikes or something like that where you couldn't pick it up, or you would just die. So it keeps you from having to waste a life if you do something silly. And you see that switch has 3 positions. It's got up, down, and off. So we just gotta go up to grab the key. And you notice it controls those other platforms on the left. So now we just gotta go up here. And there you go. Not sure why that trampoline's there. Just gotta dodge Mr. Spiky guy there. Still not going for the items. There's just too many one-ups, you don't need them. But this game came out in '94, that's why it's sometimes known as Donkey Kong 94. And that was right around the same time Donkey Kong Country came out. I think they might have been on the second one at this point. But for some reason Nintendo decided... Oh, I tried ducking and I fell off the ledge there. Nintendo tried to kind of bring Donkey Kong back up as a franchise. If you've been following Nintendo since the beginning, you'll notice that some of their franchises kind of go in waves. Like Mario and Zelda, those have been pretty much there the whole time, but some of the other franchises have had huge gaps, like Star Fox and Metroid. They can go... I think Metroid went 10 years without a game in the main series. And that was, yeah, it was from Super Metroid and then all the way to Metroid Prime, so that was like a huge gap. And Donkey Kong hasn't ever had a gap quite that big, but Donkey Kong 1 and 2 were, you know, they came out in the arcades back in the very early 80s. And then they didn't, they did Donkey Kong 3, but to little fanfare. That was really kind of a whatever. There we go. And so he faded off a little bit. Super Nintendo had the big debut with, you know, Mario and Zelda. But then they teamed up with Rare to do the Donkey Kong Country. So that kind of brought him back. Okay, let's see what they're showing us here. Okay, yep, you do the somersault. And you can kick a lot of the objects that get thrown at you in the game world. And for some reason, they didn't show those barrels tip over so you could pick them up, but you can. If in the next DK showdown, I'll show them do that. But this was definitely primetime Nintendo right here. The 16-bit wars with Sega there. Nintendo was pretty much the reigning champ. They didn't get dethroned until the N64 PlayStation rivalry. It may or may not have been a hidden technique. I do like Donkey Kong Country. That game definitely reminded me of the Super Mario World, but it had its own flavor too. It wasn't just like a carbon copy. The pre-rendered graphics obviously look really primitive compared to, you know, what we see today, but back then on the Super Nintendo, that was pretty crazy. They actually had full 3D models that they rendered. But there is a bit of a lack in the design here. I mean, Mario here, he's only, what, like 8 by 8 pixels wise, but, I mean, he's really sharp and detailed. You know exactly, you know, what's going on. With the pre-rendered thing, I don't know if they had to tweak those models or what, but, I don't know, they kind of lack sharpness. And if you want to see just how much of a mess pre-rendered sprites can be, you might want to check out Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy. Compare that to this, and you can see just how sharp the resolution is on that. Okay, I gotta get one of those friendly ladybugs up and out of here so I can ride it. Close it. There we go. Ah, I got one of the bad ones. I'll just have to dodge them. Oh. As far as I know, you can't kill those spiny ants. They're kind of familiar, by the way. Super Mario Land 2, maybe? Okay. So that would have been tough without the somersault. You'd have to go all the way down. Much easier just to duck under. There we go. If you didn't do a handstand there, you could have jumped down and ridden the conveyor and kind of done another loop, but as long as you get to the end, that's all that matters. Okay, so he's not throwing barrels at me, but you can use that new technique they just showed you. Oh, properly. You have to use it properly. You have to it only stops things that are coming from above. But this is almost a remix of one of the first stages. I mean, there's only so many, you know, ways they can rearrange the sprites. Oh man, I might have to actually focus here. This game's not super hard, but you could definitely die if you're not paying attention, because it is one-hit death. Get jelly like that. Ah! One. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I was going crazy. Oh. There we go. So anyway, so you gotta use the. Well, you don't have to. You could just dodge them like I did in the first stage there. Hey, there we go. Okay, I guess you can be a little off center, but anyway, it has to be roughly coming from above you so that you can stop it and you don't get smushed. Oh, there we go. The backflip. This game just got a lot easier. If you ever played Super Mario 64, it behaves very similarly. You just hold left, and then you just kind of make a quick cut over to the opposite side, and you jump. And as you can saw, you jump really high, so. I was gonna say the heck with it, I'll get all the items for once, but never mind. Product placement. Simulator still doesn't do the sound though. Could smash all these guys with the hammer, but it's not worth the trouble. Just cut to the chase. I think you can kill him though. Yeah, there you go. Kind of a weird little stage there, I guess just to introduce those enemies. They did show the little collapsing blocks there. I suppose I could have run over them there. I don't know if they ever come back. And of course, there's none in this scene here. Oh! Son of a bitch! You have to be... you have to have good aim, I guess. The backflip, you can land up where you started it. You do have some momentum though, so you gotta show a little bit of caution in how you do it. They do have those little conveyors there. If you're not feeling brave, you can kind of work your way down a little more gently. There we go. Did not drop the key. Yeah, that's a nice easy one. Could have also taken the block. There's a couple ways to do some of these stages. You don't have to always take the one certain way. Okay, this is a good one to actually kick over the barrels. Oh, missed that pretty good. It's always the same, just 3 hits. I guess you don't really have to bother kicking over the barrels just yet. They showed you how, but it's not critical that you kick them over. They still kind of give them to you for free. How does he get up there? Okay, yep. This next area, you have to do a lot of this. You saw a few of the power lines in the city there, but they weren't necessary. They're almost not even a shortcut, really. But in the ship, you're gonna have to do a lot of spinning around on those little ropes there. That's a short one too, only 8 stages.